Hi, good afternoon. I think everyone is a little sleepy, but that's okay. I'm just going to talk for 8 minutes. It's not going to be long. Basically, I'll introduce you to who I am. Cloud Kitchens, as you know it, is my creation, and I was the first mover back 8 to 10 years back. As a 22, 23-year-old, I made a lot of money and then I lost it all. But while losing that money, while becoming a first mover in an industry, it was so addictive because we saw returns that we never did. I had no idea that businesses can yield returns that are 75,000, which basically means every rupee that I put in gave me 3,750 rupees back. Now, when I try to come to the same stage of being a first mover in other industries, it's helped me tremendously. Even in drones, we got into this about 4 years back. Our company's name is called Drona, and we didn't know what we wanted to do with drones, but we knew that we wanted to be the first ones. Now, essentially, what we're talking about, you all know the technology we are looking at, you all know the infrastructure India has, you all know what is happening with the drone industry, but there's still some confusion, and that confusion, I think, is red tapeism. Personally, I don't understand why a country like India talks so much about drones, but we still import Israeli drones when it comes to actual warfare. I do not understand where our policies go when it's called made in India, but everyone in the drone industry knows how much we are making in India by importing and then assembling these parts and then calling it made in India. So anyway, the point is not to batter or badger the government or the policy making. The point is, how do you become a part of an industry and just remain there? No investors can shake you, no competitors can shake you, no customers are required. When you're a first mover in an industry, let me please tell you this, your marketing costs are zero. There is no black hole called marketing. There is no advertising that is needed. Every function that you do in this industry becomes a standard for the industry. Now, 5 years later, we got into real estate, and now where we are is where we're trying to use our real estate network to set up vertiports. What are vertiports? They're obviously places where eVTOLs or any unmanned vehicle can take off or land. But what's the point of having just about 15 to 20 vertiports across the city or across the country where we need as many drones as the number of people in this country. That's very simple, and whether you like it or not, we just it's a matter of time. It's a matter of one threat to security. It's a matter of some issue like COVID that will bring up this industry and how. And we are not waiting for a disaster to happen, but I mean, if a disaster has to happen, we will be the first ones to solve it. So these vertiports, now what have we done in the last 3 years? We knew that 10, 15, 2000 or 1000 drone ports or vertiports as you call it will not do any justice to what is required in terms of covering the airspace. We want to cover 1,000 feet. We want to cover the very low level airspace. If you've read the policies, you know it's called a VLL airspace. Below 1,000 feet, there is no information. There is no information about trees. There is no information about buildings. There is no information about anything that a drone might need to move forward, right? And especially for beyond visual light of sight flights. Now, what we want to show you is a video of a product that we've made just to support the industry, nothing else. So this, as you see it, it's basically it's a small device, and our problem is not making this device. Our problem is not selling it to you. Our problem is not finding customers. We don't care about it. They will all come to us when we are able to deploy 13.5 lakh of these machines. Now, what do? They tell me basic things. They tell me the altimeter. They tell me the information that an altimeter gives. They give me the information that a barometer gives. They will check the temperature. They will check the wind. They will check anti-collision systems. Now, these small towers, right, that we made, we need to develop a highway of these. The vertiports won't make sense in India until and unless it's a highway. How do you define a highway? A highway is basically a 3D highway where these towers or a route is automatically being aligned by these drones and anti-collision systems are in place where batteries that need to be charged can land anywhere next to the highway, where anti-collision systems have to be in place so that any manned aircraft or any eVTOL aircraft is not interfered with when it comes to drone, drones flying their routes. Now 13.5 lakh, this figure came because of 28,000 zip codes that we have in the country. We have 28,000 zip codes. We need this tower or we need a vertiport landing every 5 kilometers so as to be a competent country in this industry. Now what is the problem here? The problem is that if I start putting in money in this hardware, which is being updated as fast as cell phones, next year someone will come up with a cheaper alternative. So why would I waste my money? I don't want to waste my money. I don't want to waste my investors' money. The plan is really simple. We don't want to be, a victim of a Mukesh Ambani sort of a idea where we put in the towers and some beautiful businessman comes and changes the policy and starts using our towers. We cannot even do that. So the problem with Bharat and vertiports in Bharat is really, there's something else to it. We need to be very careful about how we install these vertiports. Where all can we do it in green zones, yellow zones or red zones? Red zones for anti-rogue drone software or hardware. Our priority here is to collaborate. Please do always reach out. We are looking to install these across the city. We have 4 states that we are doing it with: Karnataka, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Haryana. Now, these 4 states, we have 8,000 spots that have been marked. These 8,000 spots per state run across the highways. So we are ready before everything, before the government is. We are ready for everything before the technology is ready. But what's the point in being a first mover here when there's no customer paying me cash for it? It is a sad state of affairs when it comes to the red tapeism that we are facing with respect to a lot of government entities and lack of decision making and everything, but we are still very, very positive. Now, vertiports need to be, obviously, we need the infrastructure, we need the design to be light, we need it to be moved any moment. And that's it. I just wanted to put the seed in your brains that while you are in this industry, don't get too hung up on your product. There's a better product coming tomorrow while you're making your product today. Don't put in your money all the time in that one product, making it perfect, because the policies are a little haywire right now. And that's it. I just want to say hi, and I hope that we get. Yeah, I'll take questions just a minute. I just wanted to extend my warm hands to people who want to collaborate. We are real estate guys. We don't know anything about tech, but for the last 3 years, we've been learning a lot. And we will make a mark. We are very sure that Drona will make a mark. Please, sir. Please.
Hey, so I just wanted to get some clarity there. So vertiports are places where drones can go and land, right?
eVTOLs, drones, unmanned
Yeah.
vehicles, even Land Rovers.
So the video you showed us,
Yeah.
it seemed like sort of a weather station kind of thing. Like, can you
Correct.
explain where the drone lands? There?
Correct. So these are just examples of the drone lands on my terrace. By the way, the
Okay.
drone in our
Hmm.
model of a highway, in these 8,000 into 4, which is 32,000 spots, we are landing drones on terraces. So as real estate guys, we are paying rent for 50 square feet of your terrace space and full license to operate drones out of there, especially in green zones. I'm paying you rent, and I'm installing this
But
just so that my drone has enough information to land safely. Please.
okay. And basically, these are terraces with beacons, and the
Yeah.
drones can discover them and land.
Correct.
And you will take care of recharging the drone and stuff, or
I
is
will
it
not
just
take care of it.
okay?
I
It's
will not
just
take care of. I will not spend any money on your landing. I'm just joking.
okay.
You will have the opportunity. You will have the opportunity to either recharge it or just park it while another flyby happens, or even flyby. What if your drone has no information about the trees around? So LiDAR systems are being put in place. We're waiting for cheaper alternatives right now.
Okay.
That LiDAR system will technically detect any obstruction, which means a bird, real time, or when it comes to trees or when it comes to buildings, that information will be given to your drone free of cost.
Okay. Thank you.
Just sorry, since the mic is here, I'll just take a question.
Please, sir.
So extending on what Karthik just said,
Right, sir.
look, we are basically building a scaled application for drones, and a big part of that is essentially the ability to have a drone in proximity to its destination,
Correct.
right, as well as a place to park, right. So in our business model, we've actually worked out the commercials exactly the way you are thinking about it, in terms of paying rent to buildings and rooftops to kind of have that as a parking spot. We have a field personnel who will be available at all of these, maybe 20:1 ratio, to do the charging and things like that. I guess my specific question is, GPS technology is accurate enough to be centimeter level today.
Yeah.
So aside from the beacon and the weather station that is part of your vertiport,
Yeah.
what is the other advantage that your tech is providing? Because I could not, I could not
Correct,
figure it out.
correct. So as I told you, I'm not a tech person at all. I know that technology in drones is moving as fast as cell phones. So even if I develop something today, we're waiting for the best solutions. What these spaces will provide you is parking. That's it. Let's move very easily into it. Where I can guide you, where our system can guide you is that when it comes to see in Hindi, अगर हम रेल की पटरी लगा रहे हैं, we are building a पटरी for the railway. That's all we are doing. We don't care which railway comes on board, whether you're coming to firefight or you're coming for security or you're coming to bomb. I don't care. As long as you take information about the trees and obstructions from my data source, or you want microclimate information. Now, this microclimate information is very important to your drone or your unmanned vehicle, right? You have to know whether it's going to rain, and if it's going to rain in 5 minutes, you need to land somewhere. We'll provide you with that spot. So we are real estate guys. We're not tech guys, but we are understanding what all tech your drone might need that we need to install on these terraces.
So if I kind of summarize the value prop very, very crystal clearly, what I'm understanding is micro weather data,
Yeah,
a beacon to basically a safe and known landing spot,
correct,
right?
correct.
And many of these all over the place.
Many of these all over,
These are the
and
kind of 2 or 3 core value
yeah,
props.
and the most optimized route between the two, right?
Got it.
So if Delhi to Meerut, you're flying a heart for 15 meter for 15 in 15 minutes, a heart is being transferred from Delhi to Meerut, right? You must have read about that. Or in high altitude, someone pulls off a 15-kilometer run in 2 minutes. But what will 15 kilometers do to me? This is all just a PR gimmick. I mean, your company just wants to be in the newspaper, so that's why you pulled off one run.
Yeah.
But let's cover 1,000 kilometers. Now we're talking, right? Now drones are going to be approachable. So if I want to, that's exactly what it is, and this highway will have all the information you need.
Cool. Scaled use cases, we should talk.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks. Anyone
very-
else? Sir, please.
A very useful information, and congratulations on your
I'm sorry,
initiative.
I couldn't see. Sorry, sir.
Okay, congratulations on your effort on making the vertiports and also the associated software system for that. My company is into designing the advanced air mobility platforms, eVTOLs.
Beautiful.
So I think we could collaborate.
That'll be amazing.
And I'm based out of Bangalore, and you said your company is already looking at making vertiports in
Yeah.
Bangalore. So I could give you a lot of information, and
Thank you.
there's a synergy which we can build, and
Definitely.
it's going to be win-win. Thank
Beautiful,
you.
sir. I'm in Bangalore half of the time because
Yeah, please
of our
do
work,
meet
so
up.
I'll definitely reach
Yeah,
out.
meet up. Thank you very much.
The whole point of this was to meet gentlemen such as you. So one person is more than enough for our.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I just want to understand, vertiports are, how do you decide the size of a vertiport?
Yeah.
How do you decide the sensors which are needed?
Beautiful question. So this
And,
is please, please.
these things are developed by doing trials, testing with the regulators,
Yeah.
with the technical experts,
Yeah.
with the aviation experts,
Yeah.
taking all those aspects into consideration. Uh, while I am privy to what is happening in US and Europe, I don't see anything of that sort happening in India.
Right.
So how did you, arrive at some specifications and
Right.
what are the challenges? Because adoption and integration of eVTOLs or any such
Yeah.
system will require tweaking of our air traffic system,
Completely.
tweaking of our ground movement system.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued rather,
Same here, sir. I am very intrigued. Recently, the government has launched another policy. I mean, we were going through that. It's for eVTOLs only and manned vehicles, and the whole purpose is air taxis and all. I really don't buy it. The idea is that every time we have to get involved with DGCA or Ministry of CIVMOCA, anything to do with the government, it's not a business anymore. Then if I'm so worried about the other entity, I built a business to be independent, to make a move, and then if anyone wants to join, you join.